Have you ever avoided small talk just because you were scared you'd run out of things to say? Ever found yourself in a conversation where suddenly your mind went completely blank? Nothing left to say, no clue where to look, and then both of you just sit there in that awkward silence, so thick you could practically hear your brain scrambling to come up with words? I used to dread that feeling. As an introvert, those lost for words moments used to make me want to disappear. I felt like I'd failed, like I was being judged, like I was missing out on a chance to really connect. But then I realized, those silences aren't the end of a conversation. Sometimes, they're the beginning. In a noisy world, silence can actually be the space where sincerity shows up. I've learned 3 simple ways to move through those awkward pauses, not to fill the air with words, but to make silence feel natural. And I'm going to share them with you right now. Here's a secret no one really tells you. Silence isn't as scary as it seems. I've been in countless situations like this: new job, new class, or a casual hangout where I barely know anyone. We say hi, exchange a few awkward laughs, and then silence. And I used to panic, treating that silence like a death sentence. But then I tried something different. I didn't fight it. I accepted the silence. I learned to breathe slower, sit with it for a moment, and realized, hey, it didn't kill me. There were no judgment sirens. No one bolted from the room. The truth is, silence isn't the enemy, it's a pause. A gentle breather, for both you and the person you're with. It gives space for thoughts to form, for emotions to settle, and sometimes it's the very thing that makes the next part of the conversation unfold naturally. You don't have to run from silence, just learn to be comfortable with it. Because sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do in a conversation is to stop talking at the right moment. All right, cool. So what's next? I made 3 key shifts that help my conversations flow way more smoothly. What if I told you that even when I think I've got nothing to say, I'm actually sitting on a treasure trove of topics without even knowing it? Sounds crazy, but it's true. Every single thing someone says holds a side door. The problem is most of us don't notice. Instead of scrambling for something new to say, just take a step back and really listen. Listen to what they're actually saying. Where's their story headed? What made them laugh? Did something make their eyes light up just a bit? Don't rush to change the subject. Stay with what they just shared. You can ask things like, oh, what made you choose that major? Or seriously, what happened next? That alone can keep the conversation flowing like a cool breeze on a hot summer day. And you know the best part? When you listen like that, the person you're talking to feels seen. They don't feel like you're waiting for your turn to speak. They feel like you're actually there with them. You make them remember you, not for clever lines or witty comebacks, but because you listen deeply. Real talk. You don't have to be the most interesting person in the room. But if you've got a few things you genuinely love, you'll never run out of things to talk about. Being good at conversation isn't some magical talent. It's more like cooking. If you want to whip up something tasty, you need ingredients in the pantry. And in this case, your life ingredients are the things you're passionate about. You don't need to be a news junkie or a total bookworm. You just need something that makes your eyes light up when you talk about it. Maybe it's Ghibli movies, oat milk lattes, early 2000s pop punk, or that true crime podcast you swear you'll stop binging, but totally haven't yet. Those little hobbies of yours, they're natural bridges between you and other people. Because when you talk about something you genuinely love, your energy shifts. People can feel it. And more often than not, they'll say, wait, me too. That's how real conversations start, not from forced small talk, but from shared interests. So, don't try to be interesting to everyone. Just be genuinely interested in your own life, and the right people will naturally gravitate toward you. And that's what real connection is made of. Here's the truth. You don't need to be the world's greatest storyteller to capture someone's attention. You don't have to try hard to seem cool or clever. You just have to be present. You don't need to toss around witty lines or nail a killer punchline. All you really need is to respond with real emotions. Laugh when it's funny. Make a face when something's unbelievable, or simply say, hold up, I'm thinking of how to answer that without sounding super awkward. And funny enough, that awkwardness, it actually puts people at ease. Because they can tell you're not performing. You're here. And that's enough to create a connection. So next time you feel lost for words in a conversation, don't panic. Just smile, take a breath, and be honest. Because in this world, sincerity is way more attractive than anything flashy. Here's something really important I need to say. A lot of people think they're bad at conversations But the truth is, they're just trying too hard. We often scramble to find common ground just to keep the convo alive. Oh, they like basketball. Wait, they've never used a lawn mower. Anything to keep it going. But here's a hard truth I had to learn the painful way. Some conversations just don't flow, no matter how hard you try. And the reason is simple. Not everyone wants to connect, or even knows how. Sometimes, people just aren't in the mood, or they're tired, or the vibe's just off. And you know what? That's totally okay. I used to stress out, forcing myself to keep the spark alive in every single conversation, then feel like a failure when it fizzled out. But now, I remind myself of one simple truth. Don't water a dead plant. Not every connection is meant to be held onto. Letting go at the right moment is a communication skill too, and sometimes, it's how you save your energy for the relationships that actually matter. Because at the end of the day, the goal of communication isn't to impress, it's to truly connect. You don't have to say a lot. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to show up with sincerity. Whether it's a nod, a simple "same here," or a silence that doesn't feel forced, it's all communication. And when you start trusting that kind of simplicity, you'll never be afraid of running out of words again.